What's up, folks? Today we're checking out the ArcCaptain TIG200P AC/DC TIG welder. This is a 200 amp unit with a ton of features. I'm excited to check it out, so let's dive in. All right, guys. So when you get this TIG200P from ArcCaptain, you're going to get just about everything that you see here, except for the foot pedal. Unfortunately, the foot pedal does not come with this package, and I think this unit runs between 70 or 80 bucks, something like that. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, you're not going to get that, but you can still weld straight out of the box with everything that comes with it. This foot pedal, it's a good pedal. One thing I did notice straight off the bat is this thing is pretty big. It's pretty bulky. It's heavy, but it's pretty big. It reminds me of a foot pedal from one of those old welders decades ago that felt like you're pulling around a pallet jack with like 800 pounds on it. But if storage is not an issue, then you shouldn't have any issues with that, especially if you've got a dedicated TIG welding bench that this is going to be at. I wouldn't worry about it. What else? You get a WP26 torch with the control switch. This unit by default runs off of 220, but you do have an adapter pigtail if you got to run 110 or 120. What else do we have here? We got your stinger. Decent. So it's about what you would expect in this price range. So got that. Ground clamp, standard issue, budget ground clamp, and you've got your consumables. You got all your all the consumables that you'll need to get started. You've got your manual with service information on there. If you need to get in contact with ArcCaptain, the manual is pretty good. It covers everything that you need to know about all the pulse function, crater control, all your slope, upslope, downslope, different modes. It looks like it's well written. I don't see like any grammatical errors that stand out. So it looks like it's been reviewed for proper English, and therefore it's shouldn't be an issue trying to read through this manual. And it's got just about everything that you would expect. Reference charts for different materials, function, operation, talks about the different waveforms, and you even got all your specs here. So yeah, if you want to know what your duty cycle is, or any information on dimensions, weight, stuff like that, you also have that there. But all the important stuff it covers, everything that you need to know on as far as operating this unit. So good job there, ArcCaptain. Good job on the manual. All right, guys, before I kick on the power to this, I just wanted to mention that this is a fan on demand unit. So when you do turn it on, the fan kicks on momentarily. It's just for a little bit, and then you're blessed with the wonderful silence of fan on demand feature. So let me kick this on, and just so you guys can hear the noise level of the fan when it does kick on. All right, so if you're not welding a whole bunch, and or you've got some breaks in between, that fan will shut off, and you'll be able to uh, just have a little bit of peace and quiet while you're working. So I think that's a great feature. Anyhow, let's go ahead and go through the control panel. It does have a really nice LCD screen. All this stuff on here is actually from it's from this protective thing. I just haven't pulled it off, but yeah, behind it, it looks like brand new, like a brand new phone screen or something. But okay, so let's go through each function. You've got 4 buttons on this side, and you've got 1 on this side and 1 knob. So the first one here is you're gonna use for your selecting your mode. You've got AC. Well, before I go any further, one of the first things I noticed about this unit is it's got this really loud beeping sound. And just out of curiosity, because I didn't find it in the manual, I reached out to ArcCaptain and asked them if there's any way to disable that beeping sound. And they basically said no, there is no feature. So if that's something that bothers you, or you want to disable that, you won't be able to disable it from the screen here. And you would probably have to void your warranty and open this thing up and either disconnect that buzzer or beeper switch, whatever it is. Not a switch, but there's something in there that's making that noise. It's a little beeper, and you'd probably have to either disconnect it, desolder it, or just put a piece of tape over it. So if that's not an option for you, just keep in mind you're going to have a lot of beeping while you're going through this whole menu. Anyhow, the mode button, there you go, AC TIG, DC TIG, and you've got your stick welding, your shielded metal arc welding, MMA. And moving on, your next button is your 2T, 4T function, and spot welding. I typically use 2T because I don't do very long runs. So typically that's going to be there. I plan on doing AC on aluminum today. Got some 6061, actually pretty thick stuff, 3/16 or 1/4 inch, something like that. Pretty heavy stuff. So I want to see what this unit can do. But I'll be welding on AC with 2T, and then you've got your selection for pulse, yes or no. Today we're going to weld on both. Square wave or triangular. Gonna do square wave. And let's move on to your other features here. You've got your adjustment knob. So it's got a rotary function, and it also has a push function. You utilize your push to go through your different parameters. So let's just start with your pre-flow. You've got pre-flow that you can adjust. You've got your ramp up amperage. So then you've got the duration of your ramp up. You've got your peak. You've got your bottom end. You've got your pulse frequency. How many times per second? That's 0.5 right now. So that will be 1 time every 2 seconds. You got the balance. Not, I don't want to say balance. This is your percentage of your top end. So how often it's going to be utilizing your peak amperage versus your low end. So right now it's set for half the time, half peak, half bottom end. You've got your downslope. That's got nothing right there, 10 amps and a 3-second post flow. The manual does a good job if you're looking to get some clarity on it. A couple of things you don't understand. Some things can be confusing, like your percentage and the frequency. You don't want to get that mixed up with your welding frequency. So that is all different stuff that you're going to have to select when you go through this. For instance, there's your welding frequency, 120 hertz, and your AC balance, which, you know, if you don't know what balance is, make sure you understand that. That's going to dictate the amount of cleaning versus penetration. And what else do we got here? Yeah, so that's your welding frequency, and there's amperage in here somewhere. There, for some reason. Okay, 106, some arbitrary number, but that's that. And here are your stick welding. So you got you have adjustments. You have your amperage, you have your arc force, and you've got hot start adjustments. So you get a lot of features and a lot of adjustability with this unit, which is pretty nice. And yeah, we blew through that pretty quick, but I think we covered everything. ArcCaptain does have their manuals published on their website. I believe they do have them in PDF form, and they are good quality. So if there's anything that you want to brush up on, or that you're unsure of, that this video did not answer, you can always refer to the website and get your answers there. You might have questions about duty cycles or other specifications, machine dimensions, weight, stuff like that. Easy to find on their website. So I think that covers everything on the control panel. I'm not going to go over the back. You've got a power switch on the back, and you've got your gas connection, and that's about it. So standard issue on the back side. But yeah, I think that's it, and that covers the features and controls. Aside from that, I think that covers everything that comes out of the box. And the only thing left to do now is grab some metal and see what this thing can do. All right. All right, guys. So my initial plan was to weld on something thin, like 1/8 inch or 1/16, but all I had sitting around was some 3/16. So I figured, why not? Let's give it a shot. So this is 3/16, 60/61, and I'm really pushing this 1/16 tungsten with the machine set at max 160. I don't think I ever hit 160 on this, but I was impressed with how strong and powerful this machine is. And somewhere along here, I take the tungsten for a dip in the pool, and end up having to stop and get it cleaned up, which is kind of a bummer, but it happens. And you know, you got to document these things and show what happens when you get a little too close to the pool. So there we go. It blasted across, and I was just getting into a good rhythm there, but it happens. So I'm going to clean it up and move on to some more beads. So here I've got the machine set to pulse. I've got it on the peak at 160 and the bottom end, I believe it was at around 50 or 60, maybe 60. And pulse frequency was 0.5 every second, so one pulse every 2 seconds. And what else here? Balance, I didn't touch the balance. I believe balance was at about 25 or 30. And yeah, it did pretty well with this thickness, and it gave it time to cool without running away on temperature, oversaturating the metal with heat. And one thing that I do like, the foot pedal, you can regulate the amperage draw even when it's in pulse mode. So if you're using pulse and it starts to run away towards the end of the bead there because the workpiece is getting saturated with heat, you can back off of it. So I think that's a great feature, and that's why I feel like the foot pedal is a must if you're going to be doing a lot of welding. I think just overall, just in general, if you're going to TIG weld, you should have a foot pedal available to use if you need it. I don't think I mentioned it, but I've got the pre-flow set at 1 second, and post-flow I've got set at 3 seconds. So that's about it for here. Gonna wrap that up. I think this might be it for this set. So here's a lap joint that I did, and I think for that one I did have to put my foot into the pedal pretty good, and it used a lot of filler rod to get that to create a good joint. There's also a butt joint that I did here. Where's it at? One of these. This one right here, yeah. And that one went okay. I probably could have regulated the current on that one a little bit better. I think if I spent another day with this unit, I would feel more comfortable, and if I could swap out the torch, I think that would definitely make a big difference, because I just prefer using a 17 with a flex head, just because I can just rest my hand where I want it and get it supported. My hand felt a little shaky on a lot of these welds, and so I think that could have been, the consistency could have been improved. But that's just me. That's on the operator. As far as the machine performed flawlessly, and that's all that matters. So as far as operational wise, the machine did great. Alright folks, there you have it, the ArcCaptain TIG200P AC/DC TIG welder. This thing is packed full of features. It's got 200 amp capability. It's ready to weld straight out the box. You got everything you need aside from the foot pedal, and I highly recommend you do get the foot pedal. Keep in mind it is bulky, heavy, so if storage space is an issue, keep that in mind. If it's not, if you have a dedicated workbench where the pedal is going to spend most of its time, I wouldn't even worry about that. The pedal is well made, so I'd highly recommend the pedal. The torch, it's a good torch. Me personally, I would use a 17. I'd probably swap it out for a 17 because just because I prefer that, a smaller torch, and I prefer having a flex head. So, but aside from that, it's a good torch. Ground cable is your standard issue budget ground cable. The clamp, you can always swap out the clamp for something nicer if you want. The LCD display, nice display, easy to use. All the features are pretty understandable. Operating the screen is pretty intuitive, so thumbs up on that. You can get out there, pick one of these up. They're a decent price. Spend some time with it, get it dialed in. honestly, I could spend another day with this unit trying to get it dialed in, but you know, I could foresee this unit, you know, making a really nice weld in the right hands. It could compete with some of the other units out there. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Take care.